We're going to move on to our next cruise now. There's so much we could share. We could talk probably an hour on one particular cruise with these great ports. But we're going to Oceania now. We're going to talk to Louise, who's actually the account manager for Oceania. Now, this particular ship is called the Insignia. I believe... Louise, are you there?
Yes. Hi, Paul. I'm here.
How are you? I'm waving at you. You probably can't see me, but I'm waving at you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Great. Well, you want to talk us through exactly what we're seeing right now?
Yes. Well, tonight's offering from Oceania is a very nice 15-day cruise on Insignia. And this little ship is just wonderful. She only hosts 650 guests.
Yeah.
And she's got 400 staff. And the ship is very like a country house hotel, very luxurious. And we're offering this great cruise from London to New York, around Canada and New England.
And the journey itself is just phenomenal. I mean, to cross the Atlantic is like taking one of the traditional Atlantic crossing liners.
It is. And what's nice about this cruise is that usually with the Transatlantics, it's more sea days than anything else.
Yeah.
But this cruise is 15 days, and really there's only a few amounts of days at sea. And you're getting the opportunity to visit Canada and New England during the fall. So we call it a fall foliage cruise. You're going to see beautiful colours and great scenery on your journey over.
Yeah.
And then you've got the added benefit of a few days in New York at the end.
Now, I've got to admit, I was a little surprised, because I actually know the ships and they are luxurious. I was surprised by the price.
Well, this is a phenomenal deal, and again, you know, a great little exclusive for you. For what you're getting, it's truly remarkable value for this luxury cruise. And the ship itself is just fantastic. She's just had a $50 million makeover.
Wow.
So it's a great time to go on board Insignia. She is going to be sparkling, absolutely glorious after her makeover.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Take care of yourself. Bye, Louise.
Bye-bye.
Bye. It is a fabulous, fabulous ship. Again, I've been on it, I can tell you that. Let's remind you of the itinerary, though, because this one goes out of Southampton.
It does indeed. So we are off on our cruise, and on day 3 we'll be arriving in Belfast, which is wonderful, in Northern Ireland, so loads to do there. Do you know they actually filmed the Game of Thrones there in Belfast, so you can even go to the studios there.
Wow.
Any Game of Thrones fans. Then day 4 we're in Dublin, beautiful Dublin. There's so much to do and see here. I'd say top of the list is have a Guinness, but quite seriously, they're so famous for their pubs, and there are so many ones of them. They're absolutely stunning. And then you've got St Patrick's Cathedral, Trinity College, and maybe go to Malahide Castle as well, which is slightly out in the countryside, because also it's supposed to be haunted. I love that kind of thing. It's got its own ghosts. Yeah, brilliant. So loads to do and see in Dublin, and yeah, you might even get a bit of live music while you're there. It's wonderful.
Then we make our way to Cork.
Yes, that's right. Day 5 we're in Cork, which is where the very famous Blarney Castle is. You can go and see the famous Blarney Stone if you want to. Again, great pubs and shops. It's all good. And then days 6 and 8 we're cruising the Atlantic. And by day 9, we have arrived in St John's, Newfoundland, in Canada. So great history in this place, lots of wonderful boutiques and shops and cafes and restaurants and etc. And quite exciting that you've now arrived on the other part of your cruise.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Day 10, we're back on the ship, cruising the Atlantic. And then on day 11, you will arrive in Halifax, which is in Nova Scotia. Now, if you are really, if you're cruising, you might well be really interested in sort of maritime history. I would strongly recommend you go to the Maritime Museum there. It's fascinating. There's loads of history to do with the Titanic, actually, because it's where they found some of the bodies and buried them and everything. I think it's really interesting. And I would also say, you got a little snapshot of it there. There's this little lighthouse, which is really famous, and it's where Peggy's Cove is, and there's a restaurant there called the Sou'wester Restaurant. Go and have a lobster dinner and maybe some homemade gingerbread with ice cream. Wonderful. Then day 12 we're in St John's, which is in New Brunswick. The main thing to see there are the reversing rapids, which are a kind of strange phenomenon in the river, which are really interesting. I haven't got enough time to explain why they happen because it's all quite scientific, but go and see it. Then day 13, we're in Portland Marine. You can have a little stroll around there. And then day 14, we're in Boston. Boston is beautiful, and at the time of year that you're going in October, it's going to be wonderful. It's really famous around this part for the, you know, when it's fall, you're going to see all the leaves on the trees are going to be those beautiful colours. They're very famous for the Boston Symphony Orchestra, of course, and Fenway Park, which is where the Red Sox play. You can go and do a tour there. They do daily tours. You could even go and visit where Cheers was set as well, and go and have a little drink there. Quite fun if you were a fan of that show.
Loved it.
Yeah, and then you've got the Boston Public Gardens, which are just stunning, kind of a bit like Boston's equivalent of Central Park. So there's lots to do. You've got the Freedom Trail as well, which is a 2.5-mile trail from Boston Common to Bunker Hill. It would take you about 1 to 3 hours if you wanted to go for that long walk and see sights along the way. So loads to do. Of course, you're in America, great food as well. And then day 15, you're back on the ocean waves. And then day 16, you're in one of the best places in the world, New York. Doesn't matter how many times I go there, I will never fail to be excited by it.
Well, let's have a look at New York.
Well, the famous iconic sites that you want to go and see time and time again. The Statue of Liberty, Times Square, the shopping.
Yeah.
You've got to go to Bloomingdale's, ladies, and get yourself the big brown bag, cram it full of stuff. You've got Brooklyn Bridge, you've got the Rockefeller Center, Central Park. It's also worth seeing, and if you are a fan of musicals, why not go and see a Broadway show as well? You've got a 2-night stay in New York, and you'll be so into your holiday by now as well. You'll be all kind of chilled out and relaxed, so you'll really enjoy it. Tons to do. The food, again, you can eat, I think, really affordably in New York, can't you? Just go into the little diners and get a snack or whatever. And yeah, that means you've got more money left over for Bloomingdale's and Saks. So it's really, really good news.
You are a shopaholic.
Well, you know, I always feel like I don't spend any money here, but it's justified. When you go there, you go, no, but you're supposed to go shopping here. It's fine. So yeah, loads to do. Loads to see, and obviously take your camera because there are so many incredible famous sites. The other thing about New York, it's all on a grid system, so it's not like going to a city like London where you get completely lost. It's quite easy to find your way about because everything is like on quite an easy system. And the hotel that you've got there is really nice as well, isn't it, Paul? And you can actually upgrade. You're in a 4-star hotel as it is, but if you wanted to stay in the very famous Waldorf Astoria, you can for just £129 per person extra. So that's worth considering. And of course, you'll get everywhere as well by the famous yellow cabs as well, which are easy to hail, and it's just such a lot of fun.
And I don't want to talk about coming home, but it might cross your mind, oh, we're going to fly back to London. We can actually arrange flights to Birmingham, Manchester and Glasgow as well. Again, any questions, just talk to the team. That number's right there at the bottom of the screen. It's free to call them. Those lines are going to be open until 9:30 tonight. Let's talk about the price. It is so affordable. 18-night transatlantic, Canada, America, New York. It's phenomenal. And because I love the fact that you pointed out it's in October, because the leaves will be that gorgeous golden brown. It is an amazing time of year to go to that part of the world.
Yeah.
This is a 5-star cruise. Think of this particular line, Oceania, as luxury. They are luxury. I cannot believe that you've got that. That's closer to £2,000 than it's to £2,500. It's a brilliant deal.
It is. For a cruise line where they, you know, all the food that they source, it's like the best beef, the best lobster, everything is high end and very luxurious.
And if you think, oh, I want to go out and get myself some nice clothes for that trip, where you're going to get free £100 voucher to spend at Marks and Spencer's. And of course, your tips, your gratuities are all included. How great is that?